macros. Give the example of preprocessor compiler directive. In this case, we are using preprocessor compiler directive hash define. One preprocessor compiler directive macro which you have used is hash include. Another example is hash define. Here you are defining a constant. For example, hash define max is equal to 100, hash define n is equal to 10. And when you use n variable inside your program, that will be treated as 10. Or when you use max variable in the program, it will be treated as 50. So why it is called as a macro? If you want that your control should not be transferred from the function to the main program and main program to the function, similar to the concept studied yesterday, inline functions, wherein the control was transferred from main program to the function call. We declared the function as inline, so object was binded to the function. Similarly, when you define a macro, if you define a function here, the control will not be transferred. Instead, that function will be replaced at that part of code. So when you define hash define buffer size as 1024, every time in your program buffer size z is encountered, there 1024 is written. Hash define sum is equal to, and you write in this function, that function will be replaced at the place in your program where sum is written. So what you are doing, you are not transferring the control directly, you are replacing the code. Number of lines of code in your program increase, but what is done? Transfer control time reduces. Advantage of using hash defined preprocessor compiler directive is that if you have n declared 100 number of times as 50 in your program, and you want to convert that n into 51. If directly 50 was used inside your program, so you have to update 50 lines. And if you define it as a preprocessor compiler directive, you can change only 51 at hash define n is equal to n51 every time where n encountered in your program. 50 will be updated by 51. So your program is modifiable and it becomes understandable. Instead of writing a constant inside the program multiple number of times and you don't know what that constant value is, you define it a name and use it in your program. So if another person is using your program, it can understand that constant is a value of pi. Suppose hash define pi is equal to 3.1412. So every time pi encountered in your program, another programmer will understand that pi value is of constant pi. Okay, so modifiability and understandability of your program increases when you are using a macro, and control transfer time also reduced because directly that constant or function is replaced inside your code. Disadvantage, number of lines of code in your program increases. It is similar to the concept of inline function in C++.